welcome to the final of the Star City Games Invitational Qualifier. Being run by Metagames here in sunny Doncaster, and we have Jonathan Randle on the right with his blue, white, red flash deck, and Carrie Oliver playing red deck wins, who after losing her first round won something like 9 rounds in a row to get here.
Yep, she's done incredibly well since losing the first round. I would say that if we were looking at this as an objective matchup, I would say that Jonathan has a pretty big advantage in this matchup. He's got the turn 2 Augur, which is the non-shall pass wall that he really wants. He has Restoration Angel, removal spells by the bucket load, Sphinx's Revelation to reload on life. It's really about as well positioned as any deck can be against sort of a red-based aggro deck, I believe. Carrie, however, has won against the odds in this round. She took out Nick Ball's Bant control deck with main deck Rock's Faithmender in the quarterfinals, so she certainly knows how to win when she's a bit up against it in these matches. That's Pyreheart Wolf coming down for Carrie, which is going to make blocking a little bit hard for John. Just has a trigger when it attacks that each creature can't be blocked except by more than one creature, and Jonathan is very aware of what that can do and just counterfluxes it.
So this is pretty much a good start for Jonathan here, nothing much happening as he gets towards turn 4.
Yep, just a 1-1 on the opposing side that's not going to deal too much damage, although he does have to watch out for if it pairs with something like a Lightning Mauler. He just takes Carrie down to 19. Makes Slayer's Stronghold there. Another one of the ubiquitous one-ofs in Jonathan's deck.
If he has an angel, he should probably play it now. He knows Carrie's got some burn spells.
Yeah, more than likely, although it depends what Carrie wants to do on her turn. I very much doubt that Jonathan will straight up just run the angel into what would be a burn spell. That's Ash Zealot coming down now. First strike and haste, so paired with the Stone Right, it's perfectly capable of taking down a Restoration Angel, so we might just see Jonathan take whatever damage
Carrie's
comes
representing having a burn spell as well.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't really need it, to tell you the truth, because the Stone Right gives the Ash Zealot fire breathing when it's paired with it, so she can just make it 4-2 first strike and beat up an angel anyway, so Jonathan would have to double block. And Carrie there making a post-combat Rakdos Shred Freak, so she was definitely well aware that there could be an angel in her future with that, because otherwise she would have just tapped out and thrown the creatures in.
So Jonathan got another card there off the Augur.
Yep. It's picked, and it was a burn spell as well, so it's going to make his life a little bit easier. That Slayer's Stronghold should be playing a pretty big role at this point, because it allows him to give that angel vigilance, and he can just poke him for 5 and still have it on defense. So even though Carrie's team is looking potentially dangerous here, I don't think that she's I don't think it's that worrying for Jonathan. And now that the Ash Zealot's unpaired with the Stone Right due to the Stone Right dying, I don't think that he's going to be too worried about anything coming. Pokes in with the angel after the Slayer's Stronghold there, and this is pretty much the situation Carrie doesn't want to be in. Just against 2 guys with fairly high toughness on defense and just 2 little schmoes who can't really get through. Seeing Hellrider there in Carrie's hand, but this might be the one situation where Hellrider's not going to do too much damage. I think Jonathan's quite happy to lose his Augur there if he wants, and Carrie just makes post-combat Hellrider there. It's quite rare seeing so many post-combat haste creatures, but I think it's just about the only way Carrie can play this straight up, really. Just try and build up to a critical mass of creatures.
Well, she wants to try and get that angel out of the way.
It's another Augur, so the walls are climbing here, and that's an Azorius Charm as well, making Carrie's life even more difficult on attack.
Jonathan certainly, I would say, got lucky with his 3 Augurs. They've all hit something at this point.
I think they're about 50% to hit in John's deck, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit under. So
Exactly,
yeah, he has
so
got a
1 in
little
8
bit.
for all 3 of them to hit.
Yeah. See the Sphinx's revelation that Jonathan revealed earlier? Well, I think at this point...
well, he just wants to build up enough blockers and burn a few things out of Carrie's hand before he can even consider playing that. So that even if Carrie does sort of drop another surprise Hell Rider and maybe another creature, that it's not going to kill him.
Okay. I'm just thinking about what he wants to do here, whether he wants to power up his Angel and attack again. He's got to be a little bit wary about what's going to come from Carrie, because like a second Hell Rider and he's going to end up taking 8 before even combat damage is dealt. So activates the Slayer Stronghold and the Angel comes nibbling in.
Carrie knows she's got 2 turns now. It's hard to imagine her getting through in 2 turns.
I think I see Zealous Conscript in Carrie's hand there. That's going to be quite a beating if she manages to online. Second Hell Rider for Carrie, and in we come. I think this is a straight up attack to get damage in.
So we might be seeing a trade here.
I think we'll be seeing 1 Hell Rider going down, the Shred Freak just being absorbed, and the Ash Zealot bouncing off the other.
And the Angel will probably get burnt afterwards, after combat.
You'd think that's potentially, although Carrie might just be doing this just to get as much damage in as possible, looking to try and win next turn. So block's going down, John takes another 3 from the unblocked Hell Rider. And go is the answer. Of course, John's really can't use Snapcaster Mage here because of the Ash Zealot. It'll deal him 3 anytime that he plays a card from his graveyard, so he's a little bit starved on resources because the deck does like to use its graveyard. And just thinking.
Well, he does have the Azorius charm.
Yep. So he is protected somewhat from a top deck from Carrie.
So attacking Carrie for 5 again and just having the charm on defense seems fine.
Yeah, I mean even a second Hell Rider at that point only puts John to 1 on attacks, and he can still hold off all the creatures and then just kill Carrie with the Angel. So it really depends what he thinks is coming out of Carrie next turn. The only card that really is going to devastate him would be Thundermaw Hellkite, and I don't know if John's even sure if Carrie runs Thundermaw Hellkite at this point. It's interesting watching as the tournament progressed through the Swiss. We had a lot of 4 and 5 minute matches, and now that the serious matches are down for the money, you get a lot more deliberate pacing going on in these games. Although there does tend to be a little bit of a thought that maybe you can outthink yourself in this
well, it helps
situation.
That, like, both of the people in the final are actually good players.
Yeah, I mean,
for example, I mean, if you're playing against someone you don't have that much respect for, you do tend to play a little bit faster.
And obviously, you know, Jonathan's top 8 worlds. Carrie's a very good player in her regard as well. And in comes the Angel dropping Carrie to 4.
That's what I figured would be the play from there.
Yep, so you have a turn, Carrie. And John does have 4 mana up, so that could be Rewind. It could be pretty much any counter spell in his deck.
The Rewind would obviously be the nuts at this point.
Yeah. But obviously Carrie just has to go for it here. There's very little she can actually do otherwise. Whatever plan she has at this point, she's just been bottlenecked into playing it at this point. Pretty good plan if it resolves. And it does resolve, so Everything turning sideways, 4 dealt to Jonathan, so now he's got to find a way to pretty much make sure nothing gets through.
Well, he has to block anything with 3 power.
Yep, either block or kill anything with 3 power. He does have access to Steering Spear, although Snapcaster Steering Spear does him no good at this point either. If he had it, it doesn't do him any good. We know he has 1 Azorius Charm, but the question is what the other spell is in his hand. So here comes 1 Azorius Charm, I imagine. Yeah, he's Azorius Charming the Hell Rider. Now he's got... must have something for the Angel. Probably another charm would be my guess at this point.
Well, you can't burn it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Don't think he's got access to Thunderbolt main deck anyway. Yeah, and he puts the Angel on top of his library. And with the 7 mana he's got in play, that should be it this game. He just simply replays his Angel, gives it +2/+0 Vigilance and Haste with the Slayer's Stronghold, and just swings in for the win.
It's amazing what pressure can do to people though, isn't it?
It is, definitely. The other option that he could potentially have would be... there are quite a few out there. I mean, he's got 8 lands in play. So he could... even if he doesn't see the Angel play, he could also just beef up his Augur of Bolas, then blink it with the Restoration Angel and try and find Pillar of Flame or Searing Spear to kill Carrie from there.
Or if he had a Snapcaster Mage, that would also do it.
Also, he's just played Moorland Haunt, so he could activate Moorland Haunt, give the creature Haste and Vigilance with the Slayer Stronghold and attack for 4, and that would be enough as well. So we're seeing at least 3 or 4 paths to victory for Jonathan on this turn here.
And it's kind of funny that he's not seeing any of them.
Yeah, it looks like he isn't seeing any of them here. I mean, unless he's drawn it, he hasn't drawn it this turn, so it's obvious that he doesn't have a counterspell in his hand, because that Zealous Conscript will never have resolved if he has a counterspell in hand. And because he's drawn the Angel, there's no way that he has a counter in hand. So he is just dead next turn, because that's Hell Rider's going to turn sideways and kill him. And yeah, he's attacked with his Augur of Bolas only, so he has missed the on-table kills there.
It always helps that you read your cards in your deck and you find out what they do. Giving your creatures haste.
He could still find Searing Spear here to actually win, despite missing the kill. And he's found Pillar of Flame, so even if he'd have just beefed up his Augur, he would have found the he would have had the kill there. So yeah, maybe a little bit of pressure's got to him at this point. Although it has been it's been a pretty long day. All things said and done, 8 rounds of Swiss, 3 top 8 rounds. So this is the 11th game that.
I can't imagine this is the first time he's ever given one of his creatures haste with his land. I mean, I imagine he must have done that at some point in the past.
Oh, you never know. I'm not sure Jonathan's one to play Boros aggro, so it might have just been a. It might have just been a deck he's either picked up on the day or been given, but yeah, he just appears to have missed it for this game, and
I think after watching this video, he won't be making that mistake again, though.
No, and obviously, if Searing Spear was one of the top 3, he would have flashed it immediately. So he just doesn't have it. It looks like.
He knows what's coming next turn, so...
Yeah. Another one of these situations where it's like, you're dead, you know it.
There is no way out.
Yeah. It's like, stop representing cards you can't possibly have.
It'd be interesting whether Carrie actually realised she was dead on board.
Yeah, I was wondering like whether Carrie's body language or anything like that, sort of desperately trying to stay stay stoic and not give anything away. Jonathan has burnt the Ash Zealot, so Hellrider's no longer an instant speed kill, but Carrie's got Brimstone Volley, so Jonathan going down there.
And we'll see you all on the next video for Game 2.